Welcome to the latest episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, brought to you by the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka 3-Piece Combo, and today we're going to be getting into the game that we had yesterday against the Los Angeles Lakers. Close win, scrapped it out by the skin of our teeth, but we still did come out with a win. Now, before we get into that game last night, I want to take one quick look back at the Kings game that we had. Like I said, sometimes there's things that I don't see that you guys will see. I want you guys to comment below the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Lakers game. And next video, I'll go ahead and see if there's anything that you guys caught that I missed out. So for last game against the Kings, some things that I did miss out. Daniel Davia, frequent commenter, he said that we did shut down Fox and Buddy Hield, which was great. We did a great job playing defense on them, and I felt like that was a key part that I missed as well. The ugly, I mean, we're letting opposing role players score all the time. That's nothing new. We're just letting that happen on a frequent basis. And the bad, as far as Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, both of those guys didn't really deliver tonight against the Lakers game. But thanks, Daniel, for commenting on the last video against the Kings. Like I said, if you guys see anything that I didn't see in this week's segment, you guys let me know. Now let's go ahead and get into this Lakers game. It was a great game overall. We took a really good lead. Kind of blew some of those leads a couple of times, but there's some positive takeaways. There's some negative takeaways. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly with this game, starting with the good. So getting into the good, the first thing we want to take away from this game is that it's probably the best win of the season. It's the one that we've probably felt the most good about. We finally have some positive takeaways. We finally beat a good team. So it was nice to see that we actually got this win. So starting with the good, the first thing I want to mention is Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn came out firing last night. I think he had 15 of his 27 points in the first quarter, 10 of 14 overall, hit 5 threes, 5 of 6 from downtown. He's been scorching hot from deep lately, been shooting 44% from the three-point line over the last 2 weeks, which is great. He's been doing a really good job, probably better than Duncan Robinson stretching the floor right now, and his confidence is there. It's awesome to see that he's confident in his shot. He's not only hitting the three-point shot, he's hitting the floaters with consistency, he's hitting his layups with consistency, and he's starting to fill up the stat sheet. I'm going to read out to you: 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block on Kyle Kuzma, which was phenomenal because I hate Kyle Kuzma. So it was really good to see him have probably the best game that he's had all season long. And Kendrick's starting to look better and better every single game. He's looking like that go-to scorer that we had on that impressive run at the beginning of last year. Getting to the second point of last night's game, Bam's defense on LeBron James. And not only Bam, I want to credit the whole team and Coach Spo's game plan, because we always have the best game plan when it comes to LeBron just because we know him so well. We started with Bam on him, and if they tried to pull a big over, we had, Iguodala switch on him. If they try to do a guard screen and roll, we had Jimmy switch on him. So we had, a plan to where we were going to throw different guys at LeBron and try to slow him down. But Bam was the most effective of anybody last night, holding LeBron to 2 of 8 shooting, 1 of 4 from three-point land, and he had that impressive block late in the fourth quarter that really helped us continue to build that lead. Speaking with the Bam a little bit, the reason why he's able to match up LeBron so well, first of all, they're pretty much the same size as far as height goes. Bam just has 20 pounds on the dude. He's as explosive as LeBron. He has the lateral quickness as LeBron, and he's as strong as LeBron. So Bam is the new LeBron stopper. Kawhi, get out the way. Bam is the new guy who's going to be the sheriff in town as far as stopping LeBron. Now, all doing that, all while getting 16 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists on 50% shooting. So Bam, awesome game last night. Offensively and defensively, we couldn't ask for anything more from you last night. Another really good point from last night's game is that we're continuing to attack the paint. And this is helping us get away from those offensive lulls where we're just going through deep droughts of not scoring. Now, they're still going to happen. It's the NBA, droughts happen. But we're starting to have a little more consistency with what we're doing offensively, and it's showing on how competitive we've been lately. 52 points in the paint last game. Over the last 3, we're tied for second in the league with 59.3 for points in the paint. So we're doing a great job getting in the paint. Bam's doing a good job. Jimmy's doing a good job. I love the back cutting by Duncan Robinson. It's been a little bit underrated since teams are playing so good on the 3 of him. He's starting to back cut a little bit more and get a little bit more in the paint. So a lot of great takeaways. We had some more, just a well-rounded game by the team overall. But of course, as usual, there was some bad parts of this game. There was some parts where we faltered. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit into the bad. So, getting into the bad. The first point that I want to make is that we almost blew two double digits leads, two separate double digits leads. It's not like, it was 15 to 8 to 10. No, it was 15. They went up by 3. We got it back up to 10, and they brought it down to as close as 2. And that's been a common theme with this team. And we've noticed it with the Warriors game. I think we were up 14 or 16 with the last 6 minutes to go. We blew a lead against the Clippers that we had in the first half. We blew a lead twice against the Clippers because in that first game that we lost against them, we blew a lead too. And so we've just been the team of blowing leads. It feels like the higher that we have this lead, the less confident I am in this team. So this is a common theme that's happening for this team. And for some reason, we're just continuing to have these offensive droughts. And not only have these offensive droughts, as soon as we stop scoring, we start hemorrhaging points to the opposing team. So that's really one bad point that we have to start to improve on this game. That's going to come down to two things, really. It's going to come down to coaching and Jimmy and Bam. Coach Spo's going to need to know when he's going to have to take these timeouts. Sometimes he seems to wait a little too long before he takes his timeouts when the opposing team is going on a run. And the second thing I want to see is an aggressiveness from Jimmy and Bam. I don't want Max Strus shooting 8 shots in a row when the Lakers are going on a run. It should be Jimmy and Bam taking it to the rim, being aggressive, taking a jump shot if it's Bam, taking it to the rim and drawing fouls if you're Jimmy. That's what needs to be getting done. And that's what's holding us back right now is those two guys sometimes are not as aggressive as we want them to be. Of course, they have a heavy load defensively and offensively, but when those droughts come and we need a bucket, those need to be the guys. Second thing about, yesterday's game, we won the first quarter very well. We won it 36-23, but we lost quarters 2, 3, and 4. And in the second half, we only scored 37 points, which is only one more than we scored in that first quarter by itself. So the offensive problems are still there, and they're still, hampering us as far as making sure that we're not blowing leads. So we're going to need to have a little more consistency scoring. Of course, we did lose Tyler Hero in the second half of the game last night. He didn't return, but that needs to change. We need to make sure that we stop going through these offensive droughts and continue to score at the level that we do in the first quarter. Our first quarters have been a lot better lately, but they're not holding up all the way through the whole game. So we need a little bit more scoring on the back ends of the game. Last thing I want to talk to, and this has been a consistent problem all season as well, is the Duncan Robinson foul trouble. He fouled out of last night's game, and it's very common that early in the first quarters, opposing teams will target him, and he'll get 2 quick ones. And usually that's where he's most effective, is in that first quarter, where he'll nail 3 or 4 if he's really, really hot. But now teams are starting to get him to switch, and once they switch, they attack him, and the refs, for some reason, hate Duncan Robinson, so they'll call a foul on him. But he's putting himself in that position. It's not every time where it's just the ref's fault. Duncan needs to know how to control himself on defense and know how to not get in foul trouble, because when he's in foul trouble, it just makes his team a lot worse. It makes it a lot harder for the team to score, and then we have a guy like Max Strus coming in 0 for 8 in like 3 minutes and hampering the team. So Duncan Robinson needs to stay out of foul trouble. So other than that, not too bad. Honestly, it was a great win. Like I said, it was the signature win of the season. But let's get into the ugly, because there was something that was really, really ugly last night. So getting into the ugly. So with like 4 minutes left, LeBron, can't remember who we had on him, but he was taking it to the rim, and he was going for a layup, and Bam came out of nowhere and blocked that shot. He spiked it. Very, very ugly. Very, very ugly. It was probably the best play of the game, the play that got me jumping out of my seat, and that was ugly. That was the Bam that I love to see, the Bam that has a little bit of an attitude. I mean, he's a nice guy. He loves his mom. He's a sweet dude, but we need a little more attitude from him. We need a little more Jimmy from him. We need a little more, attackness from him, a little more aggressiveness from him. So it was nice to see that he didn't just block the shot, but he spiked it, and that was ugly. Bam Adebayo, welcome to the ugly portion of this segment. Now, like I said, guys, if there's anything that you saw in last night's game that I didn't see, I don't see everything, I want you guys to comment below. And next time on next video, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on the screen. Like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching the good, the bad, and the ugly, brought to you by the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I'm Jonathan, and I hope you guys have a great day.